Jane, have you ever been in an accident while driving?
Oh, yes. Once, I was driving downtown, and suddenly a car crashed into my bumper. It left a dent, and I had to call an ambulance for the other driver. It was quite a mess.
Yikes. Accidents can be scary. Did you have to change lanes quickly to avoid the collision?
No, unfortunately, I couldn't react in time. But luckily, the fire truck arrived promptly to help. They even checked my engine for any leaks.
Speaking of engines, have you ever had a breakdown on the highway? I once had to back up my car to the nearest car park when my engine started acting up.
Yes, I remember that. It's essential to check your mileage regularly and get your oil changed. Otherwise, you might end up with a costly repair at the dealership.
True. And don't forget to use your blinker when changing lanes. I got a ticket once for not signaling properly.
Oh, I've been there too. And make sure your license plate is visible. I once got pulled over for having a dirty one.
Right. And keep an eye out for toll booths on the bridge. I almost missed one last week.
Absolutely. And always buckle up when you're in the back seat. Safety first.
Agreed. And don't forget to check your tire pressure. A flat tire can ruin your day.
So many things to remember while driving. But it's essential to follow all the directions to stay safe on the road.
Definitely. And keep your windshield clean for better visibility. Accidents happen, but we can do our best to prevent them.
Wise words, John. Let's accelerate towards safer driving.
Jane, have you ever noticed any differences between men and women when it comes to driving?
Oh, definitely. There are some stereotypes, but let's discuss. For one, I've heard that men tend to be more aggressive drivers. They might accelerate quickly and change lanes frequently.
True, but women often pay more attention to details. They're better at following directions and checking their mirrors. I guess it balances out.
Agreed. And speaking of directions, men might hesitate to ask for them. They'd rather drive around lost than stop and ask someone.
Ha! You're right. But women are more likely to pull over and ask for help. Safety first, I suppose.
And parking. Men sometimes struggle with parallel parking. They'll try to fit into tight spaces even if it takes forever.
Guilty as charged. But women are more patient. They'll find a better spot or take their time adjusting.
Now, let's talk about multitasking. Women are pros at it. They can adjust the radio, sip coffee, and still focus on the road.
Meanwhile, men might get distracted by flashy billboards or sports scores on the radio. We're not as good at multitasking.
And let's not forget about road rage. Men might get angrier behind the wheel, while women tend to stay calmer.
You're right. But both genders should remember to use their blinkers. It's a universal rule.
Absolutely. And whether you're a man or a woman, safety and courtesy matter most. Let's all drive responsibly.
Jane. Have you ever noticed how driving customs vary so much from country to country? It's fascinating.
Absolutely, John. It's like a whole new set of rules and habits every time you cross a border. What stands out to you the most?
Well, for one, the side of the road we drive on. In the UK, Australia, and Japan, it's the left side. But in the US, Canada, and Germany, it's the right side.
And don't forget about yielding and stopping. In some countries, like the UK and Germany, drivers give way to vehicles on the right. But in others, it's different.
True. And then there are those quirky customs, like how in India and South Africa, they drive on the left due to their British colonial history.
And let's not even get started on roundabouts. Each country seems to have its own approach.
Right. It's like a global driving adventure. Buckle up, Jane.